Good morning, Cog Squad. I hope your morning is absolutely beautiful. I tell y'all what, mine is. I'm not gonna lie, I am enjoying this weather so daggone much. Whew, man, it feels wonderful. Man, it feels wonderful. Goodness gracious. I'm fixing to feed everybody this morning. Brooke and Mary Carl have gone on a little journey this morning, and I'm flying solo today, except I hear Peaches over there telling me to bring it. I'm fixing to bring it, don't worry. I had a question that I've seen pop up, which is a pretty daggum good question, and that is, Jason, I know you have to separate Moody and Matilda's food, and that seems a little aggravating or a little difficult, and why don't I just put the lubricant, the joint supplement, on all the feed and just feed them all at one time? Which, in theory, sounds like a great idea. But y'all, this lubricant, this joint supplement is measured out. So, Moody gets a certain amount, Matilda gets a certain amount, and if I was to just squirt it all on there and just put it in the troughs, I really wouldn't know how much each one would get, if that makes sense. So that is why we do it like this. And it's really not that bad. It really isn't, honestly. All right, everybody. Let's have a beautiful day today. Let's see who's out here waiting on me this morning. Whoa! Goodness gracious, it's the entire crew, y'all. Look at him. Boy, that is one good looking group of bovine right there now. Yeah, it is. All shapes and sizes right there staring me down. Got that laser stare. I mean, y'all staring a hole right through me this morning. Never fear, Farmer Jason is here. Yes, we are. What's going on, Big Daddy? How you doing, Big Daddy? All right, let's get your water going. Get all that air out of it. That water hose don't pop out, you know what I mean? All right, here we go. All right, that's Moo's. That's Matilda's. Fence is off. Come on, Big Daddy. Come on, Moo. Come on, Moo. All right, everybody. See, it's really not that hard, honestly. Come on there, Mildred. Come on, Matilda. Come on, gorgeous. Let me see you run this morning. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, it is. There you go, hun. See, it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad at all. And they all behave pretty well. You know what I mean? For a group of cows. Pretty good. Could not ask for a better crew. Right there now. Bet y'all noticed something, didn't you? I know I can't get nothing past y'all. I bet y'all noticed. Termite, what? Did I crank Termite up and drive it up here? What is going on with Termite? Hello. Y'all two lovely ladies. There you go, Peach. Here you go, Pocket. Did I drive Termite up here? No, I didn't. I pushed Termite. If I'd have drove Termite up here, I probably would have shattered all the lights. This thing only has like 40, 50 horsepower, but without a muffler on it, it is loud in all caps with the wavy text thing, loud. It's loud. So I pushed Termite up here. Y'all, that is something I've been wanting to do with Termite anyways, is push it up a little bit. It was Let me go check on that water. Little man, what's up, partner? All right, let's get this water turned off here. All right, let's get that water turned off. Off. Fence is on. Y'all have a wonderful day. I gotta let this crew out, y'all. I hear y'all. I'm coming. Come on. Come on. There you go. Hey, honey. Hey, Jesse. Hey, beautiful. I say you gonna let me pet you this morning? Good deal. Hey, Aunt Jessie. All right, let's talk about termite. But yeah, termite, I've been wanting to push it up because just didn't make any sense. You know, it was right there at the front of the door. At the time, we had hay and something here when we first put termite in here. And, we couldn't get it all the way up. And since then, there's nothing here. And it just made more sense for me to push termite all the way up because now, y'all look at this. Y'all look how open this is. Y'all, can you see the room up there? I mean, it is a lot more room up there. We're going to unlock Peach's gate. Ow! You don't have to bite me. I'm letting you out. Jiminy crickets, come on. Come on. There you go, girl. Woo! You like Secretariat out there. But look at the room. Look at that room. Look at that. Now what this means is, besides I gotta clean up, a lot of this was underneath termite. This was a lot of old Volkswagen stuff and all that, but I'm gonna get that picked up. But look at the room now. Ain't that something? When we get feed, we usually get feed by the pallet. So now we can back the truck right in here and unload the feed right there where it goes. We don't have to carry one bag at a time, back and forth, and among other things. This just needed to be done, and I had a minute to do it, and I went ahead to do it. Plus, even though I know the weather has cooled down, but you and I both know it's not gonna stay like this. It's not. It's gonna be swampy, it's gonna be scorchy, and it's gonna be hotter than a tin roof, okay? And the fan now is right here by termite, and this fan puts out some air right there. You see how I made that rhyme? And now, when we work on termite, we're gonna have this airflow instead of being over here where I don't have a fan. Now, I do have a fan for this area, and yes, I did install this fan right here myself. But let me tell you, they say you get wiser as you get older. Yeah, that was sketchy. That was really, really sketchy. That was at the very tip-top limit of my ladder I have, and I got a pretty big ladder. And I was on the very top step. Me putting this fan up right here is that definition of how women live longer than men. Yeah. I'm not doing that again. I'm just not. I may rent some scaffolding. I may see if Brant can let me borrow his hydraulic lift, something. I'm not getting on the tippy top of my ladder no more. I'm just not. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I want to see termite run, you know what I mean? So that's why I haven't put this fan up right here yet. But I got it. Luckily, the Shabarn ceiling is not this tall. And I haven't had any scary moments over there. Thank goodness. And I got 2 fans for over there as well. They shouldn't be near as hard as these right here. I looked at buying some scaffolding, but the scaffolding I saw was the exact same height as the ladder I have. And it was like $800. And I'm like, whew, that's a lot of money. So I think maybe I can rent some. I wonder if Home Depot or Lowe's rent scaffolding. I bet they do. I really do. Or when Brent comes and does the front of the shop for me, we're gonna put a lean-to in the front up there. I may get him to bring his hydraulic lift for a day, and I can at least get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it installed in a day. If I knew it was coming, I'd go ahead and put that thing together. have it ready. He'd drop that hydraulic lift off. I get up there, install the fan. I'd have it done in a few hours. Probably quicker than that, but you know, I'm just saying. But back to Termite right here. Well, Mr. George has been sending me pictures of all the parts that are coming in, and it is, I think all of it should be here by the 1st of next week. You know, Labor Day's coming up, so I know that's gonna throw a little monkey wrench in delivery, and I understand everybody needs some time off. Always need some time off. Don't work yourself to death now, okay? Don't do it. But look what else I got. Look at here. I got an engine stand so we can rebuild Termite's engine. Again, the last time the engine stand Mr. Donnie brought, but this time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be working on this stuff. You know, I'm never gonna get tired of it. I've really found a passion that I know I did not have for old vehicles and tractors and such. And so, oh, it's the dogs playing. I sound like a hog out there. I was like, what in the world? We got some hogs out here? The dogs are out there playing. Scared me for a minute there. Hope nobody hadn't dropped the hog off over here. But I did buy the engine stand, which I got the cheapest one they had. I didn't, you know, this thing holds 1,000 pounds. I don't think I'm gonna get anything over that. If I do, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But got the engine stand, so we are ready to start working on Termite. Hopefully next week, everything will be here, and probably the end of next week, give or take, we'll hope we see some white smoke. That's a mechanic term for the engine cranking and firing and the smoke coming out of the tailpipe. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. And that's nothing bad, you know, when you first put a motor in and it's, you know, doing its thing, a little white smoke's gonna come out. And that's why they say that. At least that's what we used to say at the shop I, you know, work for. Plus, y'all, well, look at this space. Look at, I know I got to clean up now. Don't judge me. But look at the space, y'all. That is, you know, with this much space now, look how far I can moonwalk. I mean, that was worth moving Termite just to do that. You know what I mean? Whew. Yeah, I rearranged your furniture, didn't I, girl? I did. That was over here, and now it's over there. But I see you're enjoying it, still doing your job, keeping the food down. And we certainly appreciate the wonderful work you do, beautiful. Yeah, we do. Hey, partner, what about a swimming pool? Y'all ready to go swimming? Come on, get in the swimming pool this morning. Y'all come on, get in the swimming pool. What's going on, Sheriff? Hey, buddy. How you doing? Doing okay? I will say that Sheriff and the boys are doing pretty good. It's going about just like I expected it would. You know, they're not best friends yet, but I mean, that will come. Y'all watch what I'm telling you. I'm gonna come out here one day and I'm gonna say, yep, look what I told y'all. All three of them are gonna be right there with each other. Right now, they're all kind of, you know, doing their own thing. But everybody's fine. Everybody's doing wonderful. No issues at all. No static, no drama, no nothing. And y'all, a report on Goldie and Otis. Now, I've been told that they are BFFs already. Eating out of the same bowl, intertwining their necks right there with each other. That may have been, well, that doesn't shock me. It does and it doesn't. Mainly because she is a female and she's starting to play that drum. And I got a feeling that's just too much for these guys to resist. That's all I can think of. She's done put the spell on him. And yeah, he's hypnotized and loves Goldie. Come on, Holly, load up. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. There you go. What's going on, fellas? You see what I see, Holly? Huh. I'm thinking we're gonna have to cut this. Y'all, my sun hemp did not bloom, but look at it. I got an idea why my sun hemp didn't bloom this year. Now last year it wasn't near this tall, and it bloomed like nobody's business. It bloomed like it was trying to get a job. I mean, it was putting on a show last year. This year, not a single bloom. But look how beautiful and thick and green it is. Now, do any of y'all have a theory or a hypothesis as to why we're not getting any blooms over here? Why is it so thick, beautiful, lush, and green, and I don't even see a sign of blooms? And I'm gonna show you how fibrous this stuff is. Thick and fibrous. This is why I always tell y'all, if you grow it, two things. One, cut it when it's a lot smaller, okay? Two, have something that can cut it. Now we usually run the bush hog through here, but this year, I think we're gonna put the lane shark to it, which is gonna work out better because with the bush hog, you have to run over it, which kind of flattens it down, and then you come by and chop it, and it don't cut it up all the way. But with the lane shark, it's offset, so we should be able to chop and drop this really, 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 really well this year. But extremely, extremely fibrous and stout. I mean, this stuff is tough, very, very tough. But I want to tell y'all why I think we got this beautiful, beautiful, lush, green, giant plot of sun hemp that's, I see some that are 8 foot tall and not a single bloom. And that is this. Guess what was here before I planted this sun hemp? That's right, the chickens. So if the chickens were here prior, they were doing their thing. What chickens do, turn the soil and put some manure down here for us. And chicken manure is extremely high in nitrogen. So I think that's what we got here. We didn't wait. I planted this pretty quick after the chickens had been here. So I got a feeling that's what we got going on here. We got an area that has a lot of nitrogen in it because of all that chicken manure. And that's what caused this huge, lush, green, massive plot of sun hemp and no blooms. So, which is, having the nitrogen is great. So that is building my soil up, right? But obviously we probably got too much nitrogen here. And that's because I didn't wait for that chicken manure to compost all the way down before I planted this sun hemp, which really didn't matter because I wasn't trying to harvest this or anything. I was just planting this as a summertime cover crop. But that is a prime example right there, y'all. If you do have too much nitrogen in your soil, what will more likely happen? Now it won't stay like this. The chicken manure and all that's gonna compost back in the soil, and it won't be like this at all the time. It's just that I planted this sun hemp too quick. In theory, too quick. It really didn't matter if it just got this or no blooms. But that is what happens if you were to plant something in a very rich nitrogen soil. Now, this would have been where I planted tomatoes or cucumbers or eggplants or anything like that. I would have had an awful crop. It would have been a terrible garden year for me. And that's because I would have got these lush, beautiful, lush, green, massive tomato plants with hardly, if no fruit at all. So that's why it's really important to have your soil checked. Now, you could have a spot that's high in nitrogen all the time without having chickens there, or high in phosphorus, or high in potassium. So get your soil checked. We've cut this grass several times here, and the chickens were here. Oh gosh, it's been a while, and I want to show you this, talking about the nitrogen. I'm thinking y'all can probably see it now. It has been, I I don't know how long, y'all, since the chickens were right here, but it's been a while. If my memory serves me right, and I think I'm right, I think that the chickens were here first, then we moved them to where the sun hemp is, and then we moved them to over here where they are now. And look at the difference in our pasture grass from where the chickens were and where the chickens have not been. You can literally, and I hope it shows up on camera, and I think it does, you can literally see a line right through here. But look at that, I know I can see it on here. Look at that line, y'all. It's like my farmer's tan. And look how thick and lush this grass is compared to this where the chickens have not been. Now, we have not fertilized this area, right, because our chickens run this area, and we don't want to put any type of chemical fertilizer down where our chickens are. And we've said it so many times before. Yes, we have a no-kill farm here, which means we don't harvest them or anything like that, but they still serve a purpose, as you guys can see. The chickens are fertilizing this pasture area for me. They're fertilizing my garden space for me. The same for everybody here. They all produce some type of manure, which we're turning back into compost and having a closed loop system for the most part on our farm. So our animals do play an important part when it comes to the gardening side and the healthiness of our pasture grasses. They do an amazing job. So I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I felt like it was a little too early to start on my seeds for the fall garden. Man, I wish y'all could hear these bees. Oh my gracious. It literally sounds like 10 beehives over here. I'm gonna put my microphone in this African blue basil. This is just crazy at all our honeybees and native bees and pollinators in this stuff. Unreal. Thousands of them in here. And it goes, look how far back it goes all the way back to there. It smells unreal. So I'm kind of torn on this place. The sunflowers are almost done, but they're still hanging in there a little bit. Everything else is done in here. Oh, bee hit me in the head. Everything else is done in here. All the vegetables, the tomatoes, everything is finished in this garden except this basil. And I really, really, really want to get this area prepped for a fall winter cover crop. But I do not want to pull this basil up because it is still thriving. And the bees and the pollinators are still loving it. So what I may do is I may pull up the drip irrigation in here, plow around this basil spot, and I may come back with the tiller because I don't have my disc yet. And that way I can get this spot ready for a fall winter cover crop, which I'm gonna do a cocktail of several things like I do every year. Hey girl, smells good over here, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So what I want to do today, I may get this drip irrigation out and plow and till this plot. If not, I'll do that tomorrow. But I really like to get my fall garden seeds started. I don't want to wait too late. It's a balancing act. It really is. If you do too early, you take a chance on your fall winter stuff bolting, which means going to flower or going to seed. And typically all of our fall winter stuff we grow are greens. So if it bolts, it gets a bitter taste, and we don't want that. And if we wait too late, then there's a chance that we could catch a freeze or something and, you know, kill off our tender seedlings. So I think I'm at a good spot right now, I really do. And I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do, and I'm doing something a little different. I had to come out here and give Pocket a little love, and that's her spot. Look at that. That's your spot, ain't it, girl? That makes her do that Elvis lip. Look at that. Yeah. Elvis lip. Hunk of burning love. Oh, goodness, girl. Oh, you ain't right. You ain't right. Well, let me give you a rundown of what we're doing for the fall this year. And again, I'm going to try to plant all my vegetables back here in the backyard garden. And what I'm going to change up about how I garden from this point forward. Now, in years past, I have always grown a very, even at the little farm, large, nice garden. But at the little farm, that's kind of all I had, was kind of like that one 40 by 40. I think we ended up getting it up to 40 by 60 at one point, garden space, and that's all I had. That was it. I didn't have a fruit orchard. I didn't have a huge garden space where I could plant all these flowers and cover crops. I didn't have a side garden or a parterre garden. I didn't have a potager garden. I didn't have all these roses, perennials, grass. There, it was just one garden, and that's all I had to focus on. And so over there, to me, was bigger is always better. And what I'm learning here is that that is not the case at all. Here, I'm finding out that I just can't keep up. I really cannot keep up with it all. Things suffer. My parterre garden and my roses on the side, up until a certain point, they've just kind of suffered. I've got some issues with those guys that I need to address. The backyard garden just kind of it looks absolutely terrible back here. The fruit orchard's doing okay, thank goodness, but my apples did not, or they produced, but I didn't have a chance to go on my spraying regimen that I like for the blights and the funguses and that kind of thing. So all my apples have pretty much just, so definitely have come to the conclusion that I'm going to have to consolidate some things. I'm going to have to make things smaller. So changes for me is that I'm going to plant all my vegetables back here in the back for the most part, unless Brooke says, hey, I think we need to plant a row of tomatoes for the community next year. And I'm going to put in more drip irrigation. And I'm going to buy or try to find a great timer that can control zones for me. If I could put this area on drip, even my ferns, if I get all that on a water or a drip irrigation timer system, that will save me big time. The parterre garden is on drip for the most part, but we've added a lot more plants, so I got to get those guys on drip. The fruit orchard is on a drip irrigation, but I don't have any type of timer system. But I definitely got to make things simpler for me. I really do. Brooke tries to help me, Mary Carl tries to help me, but y'all, they don't enjoy this. They do not enjoy gardening. They really don't. You know, Mary Carl did at one point in her life, but she's a teenager now. You know, she's got her own taste, her own interest, things that she wants to do. And granted, she does help me, but I know she doesn't want to be out here in 112-degree weather helping me weed the garden when she could be doing stuff that she enjoys doing. And the same for Brooke. So I'm going to make things just simpler on me. Now, what am I going to plant this year? Well, of course, collard greens, and we've gone over this before, but I want to make sure everybody knows. We got our purple magic broccoli, which is a great broccoli, best broccoli I've ever grown. Got a new one, Waltham. Never grown this one before. We're going to try cabbage again this year. We had an excellent year last year. I got a cauliflower that I've never heard of called Veronica, which looks like something that would be on Avatar. And lacinato kale. This is an easy kale to grow if you like kale. This one, or another one is called red Russian kale. Now, me personally, I think red Russian kale will grow in concrete. I'm just saying. But this does fairly well too. I like this a little bit better than the red Russian. But if you want a no-proof kale, red Russian to me, and this is a close second. All right, I got my potting mix here, and y'all, this is something that to me is a little controversial. I tell you, the best one I've ever had is the Hoss mix. It's super fine, it's great. But if you can't get your hands on that, Just as long as you get a decent potting mix that doesn't have any fertilizer in it, it does well. And you can make your own too. You can do 1:1:1 ratio of vermiculite, perlite, and moss or coir and make your own. And I always wet it first. Now this is something not everybody does, but something I like to do. Now there's 12 cells in each one of these guys. Now this one's different. This one's 24. That's for the calendula. But this should be plenty of food for my family. I always plant a lot, and I'm telling you, this is going to be plenty of food for us. And I say that loosely, right? Maybe it won't be. We'll find out this year. And this will be a great experiment to see if I can grow enough food in this small garden. And these are small seeds, so we're not going to plant them super deep, okay? All right, there's our collard greens. Don't forget this though. Mark your seeds, because you will forget. And since I got plenty of it, I'm gonna come back and just cover this up with perlite. I bought so much of this stuff during the off seasons that I just have really stockpiled it. And this is what I used to do. Either way works. Covering it back up with your soil, covering it up with perlite. It works either way. All right, let's get this out of here. We'll try to beat the rain. It looks like we're gonna get some rain. We're gonna get this drip irrigation on out though. Let's see if we can get that plow going. I think Big Joe's thinking, thank goodness I'm out of retirement. I'm tired of just sitting around doing nothing. Oh y'all, Big Joe did it again. It it does really, really good. Don't know, let me see here. I mean, that's, what is that on my leg right there? Same here. Oh, that's pretty deep, y'all. I don't, up to there. Now it can't plow the full depth of those blades because the tractor's not strong enough, but it's not knee high, but it's a good 18 inches, maybe a little more. A little less in some places, but I think it does pretty daggum good, to be honest with you. All right, so next up is I'm gonna come in and till it, unless I find a disc in the next day or two. I don't think I am, but if I do, then we'll come back and disc it. But for right now, I'm gonna come back and till this and get it ready for the cover crop that we're going to plant this year. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to do a hairy vetch, and these are all cool season cover crops. They're going to help improve your soil. So hairy vetch, crimson clover, tillage radishes, a mustard, and turnip greens. So I'm just going to put them all in a big bag, shake it all up, and we're just going to broadcast it out in this plot. And when we cut that sun hemp down, that's our plan, is to put the same thing over there to help build those soils. And I'm going to let all that bloom if I can. Just let it bloom. The bees absolutely love it. There's nothing else blooming that time of the year. And there's something about, especially those radishes. They love those radishes and the greens. They love the turnip greens and the mustard greens when they bloom. Absolutely love it. It'll be covered, not as bad as, or not as good, I should say, as the African blue basil, but there'll be a ton of bees all over it. Oh, Big Joe, you did it again, brother. You did it again. We gotta get you a disc though, baby. We're gonna get you one. Y'all, there's one thing I need to do. We gotta make this official. I need you and a battery. Definitely gotta make this official. Oh yeah. All right, there we go. Well, it is official. You got your own parking spot right there. Your official own parking spot. Well, girl, I got the fall garden, getting it ready to go. Got it plowed up over there. Got the seed started. And yeah, you gonna get some of it, you know you are. What you like, collard greens? You like collard greens? I think you just like the cornbread. Oh my goodness. But I tell you what, Big Joe's been doing it. You might have to give Big Joe that raise, girl. And one more thing. I know you already know because you're on top of things, but you know college football starts tomorrow. Well, actually, technically, it started a little early, but you know, Alabama plays tomorrow. And among all the big schools, they start playing tomorrow. If you want to make some picks now, you just let me know, okay? All right. Well, y'all, appreciate y'all hanging out with us today, helping me get them seeds started, helping me and Big Joe get that field plowed. We certainly appreciate you, don't we, girl? Yeah, we do. Hope you have the best day ever. Hope it's truly blessed. And Pocket's trying to tell y'all, y'all be good. Right, baby? Right, baby? Goodness, you sweet thing.